So then I'm gonna finish this. I'm having some issues with Maya here, 2016. It doesn't allow for me to collect edges sometimes from the UV editor, which is really bad. That's kind of one of the bugs that I just realized. I thought that this was gonna be the best version. It still has problems. So I'm gonna go and check this out and see where things are. I'm gonna go to the edges here. I'm going to select this border edge, and I'm actually going to cut all the UV edges here. So I'm going to go and say polygon cut UV edges. Then I'm going to select these this shell here that is cut. Now this is detached, obviously, and I'm going to move it down here. I want to like complete this whole circle, so I'm just going to see where this belongs. So this here. And until here, actually the opposite. So this one is all these pieces here. So I'm going to select all these UVs, command right click to shell, move them close to this piece. So, and you can see in the model that they represent that little area up here. And this is this edge. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and try to get these edges. You can select the entire thing if you want, but then you want to make sure you deselect the other corner edges from here, and then this should probably attach, and I'm gonna go and do move and put them together, but it's all a mess right now, so I have to go and use the smooth tool and unfold. So that works out. Do the same thing for this guy. Select all these edges. No, it's not allowing me to select. So I'm going to select the UVs. Okay, now I'm going back to these edges. So select these edges, control, deselect the ones I don't need. So this piece needs to attach over here. So move, get the UVs, shift, smooth UV tool, unfold. Okay, let's see. So we want only the exterior parts, so I'm gonna go ahead and find all these pieces. I'm gonna select those. Here's that. I'm gonna select those edges here. And those here. So now this was a little bit different, so I'm gonna undo that. I'm gonna go back and smooth these. So now I'm missing some stuff. Now with this operation, I should be, it's almost done. I'm just gonna there's some edges that I need to like put together. So I'm gonna go press Q, select these edges. do the same. Does this make sense here? Or am I talking to myself? Are you guys watching? I'm recording the video, so you don't care. You're gonna watch the video later. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is like complete this piece. So there's a lot. It's like a puzzle. So I'm just trying to get all these UVs and get that piece over here. So there are some remaining edges. These edges here, you can see. I'm gonna go ahead and shade the UVs just to see that everything is okay. So everything is correct. So I'm gonna go ahead and move and sew the UV edges. Now this is like it was the opposite way. So I'm just gonna select again UVs, hold on the shift, right click, smooth UV tool, unfold, and clean it up. Okay, let's go closer again and see. Now this is looking good. Let's see how it looks. It's looking good. And press Q, go to the edge. 1, 2. So I'm almost done here. I just need these edges for the final piece. And move. And sew the UV edges. Again, UV, select it. All the UV shell, shift, right click, and fold. So now this is pretty much done. I don't know if I'm going to actually put this together, because if I put this lid together, it might work, it might not, but I'll try it. I'll give it a try. So there's a missing piece here, so I'm just gonna go back, press Q, edge, edge, and edge. Now I don't want that, so I need to go and see what's going on here. So this is that piece. So what I'm gonna do is select these edges and cut them, cut UV edges, and select these and move. So now they detach from this piece. So you do the same. You select, okay, there's some piece that is missing here. You select it and you go and see what's the other part. And if the other part is attached to something that you don't want to come with all these other pieces, you just go and select these edges here, 1, 2, 3, and you say cut them. So you cut them. Okay, now that's cut over here. Now you go to this side, select these 3, and then say move and sew them together. But then you have like this distortion. You go UVs, select all the UVs, hold on the shift, right click, smooth UV tool, unfold, and everything is back to normal. So the border edge, press Q. The border edge of this here does not correspond with the border edge of this. So there's some more material here. So you can see that these two, they have a little bit more material. So maybe we can make it, and we can actually take it all and put it all in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and select this guy and do a move and get the UVs, and that might work. It works, okay. So now that was easy. But because there were cut pieces, open pieces, I have to go in here and start and using these edges and move and sew them together. So I'm going to do that and press G to repeat the command, and then keep going. You see, I'm actually sometimes you don't have to get all the, grab only the edges that need to be moved. Everything else that is already connected, it's going to stay where it is. So do this too. Okay, so now this piece is hopefully finished. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do this one, and let's see how that works. Select everything, smooth. It might be a little tricky here, but it doesn't look bad at all actually. The unfold, see the unfold at some point has a threshold, and you might kind of overdo it. So you have to kind of like dial the correct one. And also you can open the toolbox, and I'm now unfolding on the UV space, in the space between the, or the world. You can actually unfold on both and see what's the difference. Sometimes you need to do a combination of each. So this looks good. I'm going to close this window. I'm going to go back to the model. And if this looks okay, now why does this become purple? Did this become purple? The reason is because I was working on the lid on the top of the barrel. I was working on this top part. This it changed the scale of it while I was unfolding. So when it changes the scale, you want to go to the UVs and select them. I'm going to do another unfold on this one just to see if there's. So this is done. It just needs to scale. So there, that's the final scale. So those look really good right now. This is, there's like minor stretching in here because obviously what I did is I compressed it in there, and that might not be a very good solution, but this is like a very minor stretching. If you guys wanted to, like for instance, if you wanted to do this, if you wanted to work on in Photoshop, this would be perfect right now because you could actually paint it like 2D, and I'll show you exactly how you can do it. So you have like all the barrel with the seam, and then you have the top part, and then we have the bottom part, which I'm going to finish right now. So here's the UV for the, let's look at this one now and get everything that is left up there, and let me finish this piece. And that's going to be easy, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and select these border edges. Okay, so that now these are cut all everywhere, and this might work. I'm just gonna go and say move, then get the UVs, all of them, shift, smooth UV tool, unfold. That's not like that's not the shape I want, obviously. Let's see if I can do that with the UV space. So the UV space, notice it's a little bit more controlled when it comes to like pieces like that. Now, I don't know what this is. Edges. This seems to be, oh, this is a part that is missing from this area. Okay, so I'm going to select these edges here. And do the same thing. And select all the UVs again here. I probably smoothed this maybe 20 times so far. It's kind of intense. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to that guy. Now we are almost done because this just needs to be. I just need to go in and grab all these open edges. So I'm gonna select these edges and then go move and. So this one, wait, this one. Of course, there's distortion here. This is, okay, this one, and this one, and this one. And then we're done. Now I'm just gonna grab the UVs, select them, shift right click, smooth UV tool, unfold, and final checkpoint. Everything looks white, so I'm gonna select these guys, bring them in here. Now we need to bring everything in this space. Now if this doesn't fit, then we need to like rotate it. And the rotation tool is, no, wait, this one here. And I can organize it perfectly. So everything is in the UV space. I could select everything. Actually, no, I'm just going to leave it like that for now. Now I'm going to go back to this before I complete this video and turn off the check, the distortion check, and go back and press 6 to see. Now this is what we wanted to do. We wanted to make sure that every single square in this barrel is going to look the same. It doesn't matter if it's like, sometimes it's an obvious thing that there's going to be some distortion at some areas, but the squares should be all the same size. That's mainly what we achieved in this UV layout. Now if there are certain problems that appear when we start texturing, we can come back and fix. But I'm going to do this piece. Well, this piece is very easy. You just do automatic mapping. And obviously, all these pieces here. This one, okay. So move to shell, shift, smooth UV tool. Fix that. Get these edges together. And that's, see how that once it's connected, it actually works. And then the last thing we need to do is get this edge. Actually, this edge here. Oh, now that's going to be a little bit of a difficult task, because this one needs to be cut and wrapped around on the other side. So here's what I do. I think in this case, I'm not a UV specialist, but in this case we need to cut these pieces together. So cut UV edges, and then select the UVs from this side, bring them out, and then we have these two hulls. And now, because they're open, I'm going to select this piece and say move. And of course we're going to get this mess, but I'm hoping that if I go to select all the UVs and the smooth tool and do an unfold, that it's going to be back to normal, and it is. And now this, and go to the edges and select these edges, move. It's really like, it's changed so much with this, with only that unfolding tool. It's like, it's totally different. I would never do any UVs before. It's just like, it was very depressing to do UVs without any check, without like blindfolded. You don't even know what's going on. So now this is the lid, and that's a good size for it. I'm just going to leave it here, and I'm going to also turn off the checkpoint here and go to the object mode and select and throw the existing material UV check. So that also has these I can make it smaller so it's kind of closer. That would be a proper way to do it. So it's a little, but it's a different piece. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you don't have to worry about that much. So this is it. I'm gonna stop the video here.